specifically, I'm going to pick a team. I generally do this every season, although I always seem to forget about it about halfway through. But I think what I could do this year would be to maybe do a couple of videos on setting it up, and then maybe do like one a month and go through how we've done, what changes I've made, and what changes we're going to make in the future. Maybe even if people are interested, setting up a league so that we can all kind of play together. So if you're unfamiliar with what fantasy football is, basically you pick players from different teams. There's lots of different rules as to what you can do and what you can't, and those players gain points depending on what they do in the game. So if they score goals, they get points. If they're defenders, they keep clean sheets. Goalkeepers as well, they get points. And the idea is that you want your team to have the most amount of points possible over the course of the season. There's like prizes for each week, like millions of people play this in the UK. There's prizes each week, and there's also prizes at the end. But generally, people just do it because I don't know. It's almost like betting, but without actually paying any money. So it's completely free. This one is the official Premier League one that you do. Lots of different, like some newspapers do it, and some other just websites do it. I generally tend to. I've done this one for the last like 3 years or so, I think, pretty much. So you get 100 million, and players are rated generally based upon, I guess, how good they think they are, and also how well they've performed over the last few seasons. You have to pick 2 goalkeepers, 5 defenders, 5 midfielders, 3 forwards. So 15 players in total. And it has to be within the limit. And I think there's other things like you can't have more than 3 players from the same team. I believe that's one as well. So yeah, let's have a look. So first off, well, actually what I like to do first off is to pick the players that are going to be my big money players. Okay, now I'm doing this like at the end of July, so we're still like 11 days away or 12 days away from any games, so a lot's can happen. People can transfer and go off to different things, but until that point I can chop and change as much as I like. Once you get into the season, you can make like 1 change a week, I think, or and if you want to do more, it costs you points, so your overall score goes down. So I like to just put in the big money players. So we go. Number 1 for me has got to be Harry Kane. Like, this guy is. There we go. That guy is just on fire. Okay, he does really well. 12.5 million, well spent. You can see last season his total score was 224, which is huge, really. Really only Sanchez beating him there, and I guess Ali a little bit. And that leads me on to Sanchez, because Sanchez is a player I'd like to have in here. But the problem with Sanchez is I don't know if he's going to be an Arsenal player by the time the season starts. You would imagine so, at this rate. But he's been massively linked with Real Madrid and also Barcelona a little bit, I think, and Man City. So he might not be available. I think I'm going to put him in now, anyway, because if he goes to Man City, I'd still pick him. But I guess we'll see from there. I think they'd be like my 2 main people. I think a lot of people will pick those players as well, and they tend to do pretty well overall. So next up, actually I'm going to go for goalkeeper next. So we can actually view people by goalkeepers. So here's a question: what do you want to do with goalkeepers? So last season, Tom Heaton from Burnley was the highest total score. Why? Because Burnley keep a lot of clean sheets, so he gets a lot of points. He probably makes a fair few saves, and generally does quite well. So when you want to pick a goalkeeper, I guess what you're looking for is, well, someone who's gonna. You don't really care if that team they play in is gonna. Don't necessarily need to be that good. They just need to not concede goals. My personal opinion would be De Gea would be the one, because Mourinho teams tend to not for a second season what they did last season. With all those clean sheets and stuff like that. I think I'm going to go at the minute with De Gea and add him in. Sorry, because I feel like with Mourinho at Man United, they generally set up to be fairly defensive. They like to win 1-2-0, do that type of thing, and I think that's a pretty safe bet. Now, he wasn't in the top there, but the only other one I might go for would be Courtois at Chelsea. Chelsea obviously have pretty good defence under Costa. Not under Costa, Conte. Definitely not under Costa. So that might be something I change at some point, maybe. But in a minute, I guess we'll go with De Gea. What I like to do is kind of like spend money on main players and then see what I've got left, if that makes sense. So defenders. Now defenders, you see, are interesting because some of the players up here, you might be like, oh, why are they here? But defenders get a lot of points for things like assists from crosses, not only just clean sheets, also if they're a penalty taker that can be good, although I'm not sure there's too many of them around here. So yeah, it's interesting. Now Kyle Walker could be an interesting one at Man City. You would imagine he's going to be up and down those wings pretty strongly. Bellerin usually does quite well at Arsenal. It's interesting. Daniels at Bournemouth, I think he takes a lot of free kicks and does things like that. I don't know how Bournemouth are going to do this season. They've been relatively quiet in the transfer market. And they definitely struggled towards the end of last season, so I don't know if that's going to be that good a thing. Leighton Baines could be really good. I often go for Leighton Baines because he's a left back who takes a lot of free kicks, corners. I think he even takes penalties as well. Have we got his goal scored? Yeah. So he only scored 2 last season, but he scored a few seasons back. Assists didn't get that many. Let's have a look at this Daniels guy. So he got 4 goals, 3 assists last season, 10 clean sheets. Interesting. I don't think I'd go for any Liverpool defenders because Liverpool have been conceding goals left, right and centre. You've also got to think about players who are going to score a lot. Gary Cahill generally does. Yeah, last season he scored 6. To get any assists, got 17 clean sheets. I think he's probably a pretty safe bet. Alonso though as well, he did very well at Chelsea. Scored 6 goals. 5 assists. I might actually go for Alonso. Quite like him as a player. I think he's pretty decent. How much you got left? 63. Just trying to look here if there's any players who I think are going to be good who maybe came in late and that's why their scores are low. Mustafi at Arsenal. I'm always iffy about going for Arsenal defenders there. A little bit dodgy. Blend Man United. I don't even know if he's going to be playing that much. Same with Otamendi. Van Arnold. Crystal Palace scored 5 goals. Did he really? I think a lot of those for Sunderland though. And again, I'm not sure how much he is in the plans of our manager this season. Vertonghen's usually a pretty good shout. Doesn't score many but gets the clean sheets. Trying to think though about players who actually score. Keane at Everton didn't score very many last season either. James Milner's pretty decent because he takes penalties, but there's only a 75% chance he'll be fit for Liverpool's first game. Nothing to take into consideration as well is who the teams are playing. So you would expect Arsenal to win. You would expect Chelsea to win. The rest of it looks pretty tight. I would maybe expect Everton to win it. I would probably expect Crystal Palace to beat Huddersfield, but who knows? I'd expect Liverpool to beat Watford. So maybe that should take into account a little bit, but you have to be careful there because they're not going to have an easy if that's even an easy match. It's not really easy matches in the Premier League. So maybe I'll come back to defenders, move on to midfielders, see if there's any there who I think are going to be really good. De Bruyne's very good. Eriksen, Ali. I think Ali's a player who is seriously good and could push on this season. 9.5 seems good value. Zaha is a player I really rate, and I'm not just saying that as a Palace fan, although I am a Palace fan, but I think he's pretty good. How many did he get last season? He got 7 goals, 11 assists. That's decent, shall we say. Let's compare that to Sterling. 7 goals, 14 assists. About right. The Coutinho's another player. Very, very good player. Not sure if he's going to be at Liverpool though. Many rumours linking him to Barcelona. Sigurdsson's usually decent as well. A lot of rumours linking him to Everton, which could actually be really good. I do generally go with him because he scores a lot of free kicks, things like that. Who else we've got down here? Pogba didn't really do a lot last season, to be completely honest. Not saying he's a bad player. I think Wijnaldum also surprised a lot of people. Mane's probably not going to be fit. Okay, let's move to forwards. I'll come back to that. Okay, forward. Aguero for me is usually a must pick, but my one thing with Aguero is that he has been in and out of the side a little bit. I'm not sure if Pep Guardiola totally rates him. I don't think Costa's going to be at Chelsea, so you know that Lukaku from Man United, 11.2. It's a lot of money to spend on him, I think. That could be a good buy. Jesus at Man City. He looked really good when he played. Actually, I'm going to pick him. I think he's an outside bet who could be really, really good. I think Firmino at Liverpool for 8.5 is pretty good as well. Imagine he's still playing against a lot of assists as well. Yeah, 11 goals, 11 assists. Good stuff. Okay, what's that leave us with? 27. So I'll generally go for 4-3-3 with this. I want all these guys playing, so probably want them playing, so I need another. Or can I go 3-4-3, I think. So let's add another. Let's go back to defenders. David Luiz, I'd kind of like. Only 1 goal, 1 assist though. That's pretty poor. Is Leighton Baines going to have a better season? That's a good question. Part of me wants to go for Bali at 6 million. Didn't score, got injured a bit, but he looked decent when he was in there, and I think Man United again might have a good defensive record this season. Valencia could be interesting. Actually, no, he did very poorly last season. Bellerin, okay, not that good. How much we got left? 21. Okay. Walker, 6 assists last season. So I think Tassie Walker's gonna do okay at Man City. How much we got left? 15 million. So let's pick our second goalkeeper. And what we want here is just the cheapest. Sort by price. We want the cheapest. There is 4 million. There we go. We'll pick Speroni just because he's a Palace player. That's actually no, it's my second Palace player. It's fine. 11 million left. I don't think I've got enough to pay for all of these. So defender-wise, I need a cheap defender. Saka might be a buy, you know. Oh, he's out. It's not worth it. Generally, like West Brom defenders generally get like quite good clean sheets, although stats might prove differently there. I think weirdly enough, I'm gonna maybe chuck in Phil Jones. got 6 million left, so we can't actually have all these players that I wanted. That's a shame. We'll have to cut down some. So these players I can just go for that, whatever is cheapest. 5, 6, so 4 million here. Stick in, sure, let's add him, and then, so these would be like subs basically. So maybe I'm going to go 4-3-3. Just got to see what the cheapest players we can get. Let's chuck in Cole back. He might get a few games, you never know. Let's chuck in Jolaba. How much are we over? 7 million. Okay, that's quite a lot. Yikes. So probably if we're going to cut one, we're going to cut Jesus. 3.5 million that leaves us, which isn't enough, but if we can... He was... how much was Jesus? He was... I bet he scores loads of goals now. Oh, you know who I might put in? Might put in Dwight Gale. That guy, I have faith in this guy to score goals, you know. 6.5 though, is there anybody better for 6.5? You got Chicharito at 7, who is just a proven goal scorer, so maybe I'll chuck in him. Javier Hernandez, that is, who just went to West Ham. 3.5 million over, okay. Gonna cut anyone, we're gonna cut Bally. There. Oh no. Probably put in another crappy defender. Maybe a Burnley defender wouldn't be too bad. Tompkins, Kelly, Delaney. Tompkins generally does okay, so maybe I'll go for him. He's a player I know at Palace, so we're going to 2 million over we are, so we need to cut 2 million from one department. I want to keep those two. I want to keep Ali. I think it's going to be Alonso, so we can go up to 5 million for a defender. Okay, who can we get for 5 million? Scott Dan. I can't put any more Palace players in. Gibbs, Mertesacker, Davies, Trippier. Oh, 5.5. I wouldn't mind having Trippier because I think he's going to play a lot more now that I'm actually going to add him in because I think he's going to play a lot more now that Carl Walker's gone to thingy. So we're 500,000 over. That's great. Let's have a look who I can get for 6.5 in midfield. Maximum price of 6.5. There we go. So we get Yaya Toure, Balassi, Morales, Musa, Tadic, Rudman, Lallana, Chamberlain, Townsend, Ince, Lingard, Shaqiri. And what did he do last season? 4 goals, 2 assists. Yeah. I love Shaqiri in FIFA, but maybe not here. Iwobi. Do you think Iwobi's going to play a lot more for Arsenal this season? I don't think he is. I think Redmond Southampton generally does pretty well. 7 goals, 1 assist. Might go for him as an outside punt. So that takes us, that's 100 million spent. At a 4-3-3 there. Firmino at 8.5. Who else can we get for 8.5? Giroud, Batshuayi, Vardy, Firmino, Defoe, Benteke, Sturridge, Welbeck, Barrett. Yeah, I think he's actually probably the best we could get there. The guy's going to be playing week in, week out. But, yeah, I think Chicharito's a good one too. I think Ali and Sanchez and Kane, they're all picks, they're good picks. Carl Walker for a breakout season. and Man City. Okay, I don't think Phil Jones is going to be at Man United. He's been linked to a few other clubs, so I might have to keep an eye on that. Also, he might not play very much either, so that's let's see who we can get for 5 million as a defender. Mertesacker, Gabriel, Gibbs, Holding, Chambers. Holding played pretty well last season. I think I might pick him over. Let's see who else. Scott Dan played pretty well last season. Ryan Riedewald, who's our new signing, he didn't play. Yeah, no, I'm going to go for Rob Holding, weirdly enough, over Jones. I think he played pretty well for Arsenal back into the season. Okay, let's go for it. The Minty Bees. Favourite club? Crystal Palace. I'd like to receive updates, and I understand. Enter squad. There we go. Okay. So I can obviously chop and change, I think, as and when. Pretty sure before the 11th. But I'm happy with that so far. Or I can just create a new account if I can't, doesn't really matter. So yeah, what I think I'll do is obviously I'll probably do an update video before the beginning of the season, then maybe I'll do like one a month as we just go through and have a look at this stuff and see how we do. Maybe just even chat about football as well. But till then guys, thanks for watching as always. Been my pleasure, and I'll catch you next time. Also let me know what your teams are. I'd love to know.